Okay, so I tested this bit where I expanded or where I lengthened this little thing, and that worked perfectly. And it no longer is as loose as it used to be, and that's great. So I don't have to add any convoluted, complex, snaky things to make things go down and catch on other things. So that's good. But right now, I'm going to get rid of those. Right now, I thought of another way to add in this here arm tube bit that my arm goes through. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted to do. So that I can print segment 5 in the orientation that works better without adding a significant chunk to the overall height that this goes off of my arm. So first I'm going to go ahead and suppress these moves because all they do is show what the thing looks like when it's open and closed. I might as well suppress these as well so that if I turn these back on, then that's what it looks like when it's closed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one and make a copy of it. It's going to move over about, doesn't matter where, just somewhere. And then I'm going to start a sketch here. And I'm going to see. Hang on. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the fillet here, because this won't work too well with them. There we go. Okay. What's really annoying is that I'm probably going to have to delete that later on. But I'll just make a line. Actually, no. Because this is an even smarter thing to do. I'm going to make a plane right here. 0, and then I'm going to split this with this so that now I have two pieces, segment 5, and I will rename this. Okay, I'm going to rename this one to segment 5 with built-in arm tube. And this one I'm going to rename to segment 5 for detachable arm tube. And this I'm going to rename to arm tube. I could have just called it a sleeve, but it's a tube that my arm goes in. It is descriptive. And I forgot the word sleeve for like 20 years. The word sleeve literally just came to mind right now. Oh, what is this? Hang on. Can I move? Can I move this? Move your arm tube. moves the whole thing. Okay. So that's pretty nifty. That's not exactly what needs to happen because this is going to fall apart if it happens like that. But, oh, interesting. Oh, goodness. Okay, hang on. Is it this plane? It's that plane. I don't know what happened there, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that this is part of this thing before I accidentally do something that makes that difficult to keep. Just in case. There. But then segment 5 with built-in arm tube has weird. It weird also. This mirror I forgot to mirror that. Oh well, I'll do that later. So my plan is this. I'm going to, that's going to be a 1/4 millimeter. And that's just going to go on there somewhere. And that might as well be all the way up to here. So failed to solve. Please try revising dimensions or constraints. Oh, it's because this got a dimension somehow. And then I'm simply gonna stick a hole through this and a little peg in the hole. And just like how in these we've got this little hole and peg sliding back and forth and past each other, this peg will go into this hole and keep it in place, but it's going to be much more difficult to put it in and take it out because I want that to stay together on a more or less permanent basis. So if I have a line down here, that should be the middle. And so if I mirror that, across this line, If I project just this one line, that turns blue, and that means that it is enclosed. Now the question gets to be, how much does that interfere with this? When I'm still testing the previous idea, this one with the built-in arm tube, but I just wanted to also have this just in case. And I think this will be a better thing to have anyways. I could also design this arm tube from scratch based around this in such a way that this adds very little depth to this so that it holds off of my arm by not so much. That'll be another version. That'll be another idea. Distance to object here. Join. Oh. Okay. So the issue with this as it is right now is if I get rid of this, that's going to be two separate pieces. If I put that in the slicing software to 3D print it, it's going to see this zero width right there, and rather than connect it, it's going to have a gap in the middle. And so it's going to end up being this side and this side, and they're going to be separated, and that won't stay together. So what I will do is edit this sketch and project these and offset this by -0.4, which is exactly one width, or one width of the extruder, which is good enough for the slicer to see it. And then okay. And then on that, what? Okay, project this, then offset it by 0.4, and then I'm just gonna, I really don't care about the other side because that's not gonna be touching my arm there. It's mostly this side that's gonna hurt me if it's not smooth and has sharp angles. And it's not gonna like cause injuries or anything. It's just gonna be annoying and slightly. Is that? No, it's ever so slightly not. Okay. What sketch is that? Oh, wait, hang on. It's the last sketch. And so that'll add just 0.4 to it. Except that I forgot to make this invisible. Okay. Because if this is visible while I do an extrusion, then because this is touching this, then while join is select, it's gonna join any extrusion or anything to anything that's visible that's touching. I don't know if that made sense because I don't know if I can explain things properly. That's part of why I'm doing this, just to see how good I am at explaining my thought process. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and make another copy of it. All the way over here. A little bit further. And then I'm just going to go ahead and design this from scratch on this side so that this situation doesn't pose any problem to this situation. So I'm going to make everything else invisible except for this, and I'm going to start a sketch here, and then I'm going to make an ellipse again, and it's going to be 65 on this one and 75 on this one, because that's what I get when I measure myself. And then I'm going to go ahead and project all of this and put a point in the center point here so that I can snap things on. So one thing I can do is I can offset this inward by 1 and outward by 1. Because there's enough give in this measurement that the inward and outward, that this one inward won't really change how it sits on my arm. Plus like, one, my arm is pretty darn thick. So this 65 and 75 would be smaller in most people. But that's not too important. But anyways, there should be enough give that this won't drastically change how it sits on my arm. And if it changes at all, it's going to be ever so slightly shifted further down my arm, which means that instead of being like a centimeter away from my watch, it's going to be like half a centimeter away from my watch. Oh no. So it's fine. Next, I will make a line that goes all the way across and make that a 1/4 millimeter. No, 1/10 of a millimeter, because I want this to be snug. And then I might as well just make this go all the way. And then this only needs to be 1.6. Again, I want this to be as small as possible. And I want this to be snug but not too snug, so I'll make it 0.2 instead of 0.25. And then I'll go ahead and make this collinear with this one for no reason. At least no reason that I can think of. And then, actually, this line will go in, and it'll go in on the other side as well. It's getting in the way, so I'm just gonna bring it in. Okay, and then rather than guesstimating that, I'm gonna make another ellipse. And it's going to be a construction ellipse, and it's going to be snapped to the outside, one. And that, okay, there we go, okay. And now I can make this with that. And I can trim this. Can I move it till it snaps? It snapped, okay. And then I'll just make this parallel to this, and I will not do that, because if I do that, it's gonna move everything. I will just extend it, because that's all I wanted to do. Okay, that closed the gap. Trim that. Shut up, I don't care. If you just don't move anything, it'll be fine. Okay. Four. And yeah. 4. And vroom vroom, loud car. Make another line that is parallel specifically to this. And they are 0.4 apart. Thank goodness that moving this line doesn't do any. I spoke too soon. Okay. Okay. Now I just gotta move it until about yay. Oh, it snapped on the line. I don't want it to snap on the line. And then just under right there. Will that work? That's pretty far up. Fine, I'll snap it on the line. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now this. And this. Offset by 1.6 minus 1.6. And if I close this, okie dokie, and it just occurred to me that I did not do something important on the other one. So that's going to be 1. And I'm going to put a 3-point arc about yay. And I'm going to go ahead and make a line across here because for some reason I need to make a separate line. And this is not touching this. That's really annoying. What happened where? Was it that? No. It was the spline, wasn't it? It was moving the spline. No, it wasn't. Okay, well, anyways. There. That's not correct. Okie dokie. And then if I make an arc about yay to yay, can I move this point? I kind of can, but it's not too happy with that. Okay. 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 And then I make a line here. Do I really need this? It goes out to just there. Yeah. Okay. So now if I just mirror this, 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 this. This, this, this. This, this. 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 Across this. And it's all blue. Hooray! Now I should be able to Alright, and that created a whole new body. Now the question gets to be, now that I'm looking at it, would I prefer that this has pieces that sit into a slot in here, Or should this slot into here? Now I'm going to go with the original plan. Okay. Tube designed from scratch. Very descriptive. Far too long, but very descriptive. Okay. It's not too important how big these holes are, but I might as well put them in reasonable places. .2 times 2 plus 1.6. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And then 0.2 times 2, no, because that's gonna go, no, yeah, fine, whatever. Plus, call it 20. Go ahead and mirror that whole rectangle. That, okay, and then extrude this two sides to object. And then the other one also to an object. And then a mirror plane, sorry, a mid plane to mirror things across. Make a sketch here. No, don't. Okay. Make a sketch there. And project this. And then offset that by 0.2. And then offset which way is it going? Offset. Oh wait, hang on. Did it get offset? Oh, I could have just looked through here. No, it didn't. Okay. Yeah, okay. 2. Okay. Now I can do that. Extrude this one and this one by, rather than distance, to object here. And these are still separate bodies. And now I can just mirror this extrusion features, this extrusion on this plane. And I do not know if that's going to be enough to actually wait a minute, what in the world happened there? I do not know what happened there, but that was weird. Okay, anyways, I don't know if this will be a good geometry to do that with, so to make sure that it works, I'm gonna go ahead and chamfer these. I wish if I selected two distances, I didn't have to like do it by hand, you know? Ah. That was the fear. These are getting the... I don't want to have to do that, so I'll just go ahead and do it equidistant. I don't like that, but whatever. And then actually I'm gonna go ahead and leave that, and then I'm gonna maybe not that should work to keep it in place and make it hard to take out. Like, it'll be easy to put in but hard to take out. And this should, between, considering the shape of this, it shouldn't be too difficult, actually. I probably could have done it, because if I had had, like, a solid piece going across there, then it would, then I would have been reliant on just the flex of this mutt, from here to here, to get it going. But because I don't, I have this much material to flex on, so that's fine. And where is, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do one more thing. I'm gonna go ahead and make this look slightly prettier. And I forgot to include this on the original sketch anyway, extrude anyways. Oh, okay, well then I will change that to include these two planes. And now that's perfect. So if I have this one, that actually looks pretty cool. I like how this looks. I might go with this just for how it looks. Why is the bump not on this one? Why is the... That's so ridiculous. Why is that not part of the body? Was that also not part of the body on this? It was part of the body on this one. Why was it not part of the body on this one? That's so weird. My printer's making noises. What's happening? Nothing important. I still have the same plan for at least this arm tube. I still have the same plan for attaching the sending the strap through it with this hole and this hole. And that should still work on this one as well. Except it'll be slightly easier to make because I can just and then this is equal to this is equal to this is equal to this, and this is equal. This is equal to this is equal to that one. You're gonna, which is equal to that one, and then 2 by 26, and then just go all the way across. Whoops, hang on. I forgot to move these things around. And then this is collinear to this, and this one is collinear to this, and there. Now I can just cut these ones down. Oh. That's rather unfortunate, geometrically speaking, but I feel like that was probably the case on this one as well, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. Because that... whatever. I forgot to smooth out these edges. They need smoothed out or else it will hurt me when I wear it. And then that's going to be annoying for its bed adhesion, but it's going to be better than having a straight angle. Okay. Now extrude out this all the way down. And then bring up the sketch again and extrude this by -2. And done. That's how the strap holes will work. Except, no, yeah, because this one had a solid dealio, and this one's got it going through some things, but that's insignificant, because if it interferes with the cards being held by the card holder, it's no big deal. Oh goodness, I have the worst idea. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and add back in the little bumps on this part, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. I just gotta so this was 4.5, but then it was offset by 1/4 inwards. Same on this side. 3.5. 4.5 minus twice of 1/4 is 4. And extrude these, I believe, by 1.4. Right? Let me check. That's a mirror on that one. Okay, so if I go back, this here circle is this here extrude, that's 1.4. Okay. And this here fillet is 1.2, 1.2. Okay. So I do not understand why the program decided to be stupid about that. But it did. I'm going to make this, and I'm going to make this also go away. I'm going to make this and rename it to arm tube from scratch. This one should work the best actually, so I'm probably going to end up going with this one. But I will test this other one too. What sketch is that? Sketch 22, okay. Okay, extrude this and this all the way through, because I didn't feel like making a whole new sketch. they're aligned. Okay. And then bodies, this one, this one. No, not there. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't need to make this sketch either. Yeah, that's gonna be visible. That's gonna make that visible. And now extrude this and this and start at an object. And the object will be this plane, and to an object which will be this plane. Did that make new bodies? It did not. And then make another mid-plane between this plane and this plane. And mirror, yeah, this on this. Oh, I guess I can't select it from there. And it did not work. So make that identical. And then it worked. That's really weird. That adjust. Let's see. Right, okay. Now I'm gonna fillet this. Yeah. I gotta leave a little bit of an edge here instead of going just straight corner like that, because that will be a zero width at that tip, and then the slicing software will tell the printer to go up to like here or so and go to there. And things are catching. Or are they? Hang on. No, there's something weird going on with the retraction, but let me look at the it's laying down filament just fine. I don't see anything wrong, so I'm just gonna assume that this particular segment of the filament is particularly loud. Okay, so now I've got several different versions. I'm just gonna turn on all of the. Now I've got several different versions. What in the world? Extrude. Oh, okay, hang on. Okay. That's funny. Start at an object. And then make this one invisible. Yeah, I did that. So then that is still there, but there's a line there. That's odd. And oh wait. Yeah. That's why the... Okay, well, now that I know what happened, when I did that extrusion, for these holes, I sent it all the way through here, and that cut this off and cut that out. Actually, now that I think about it, this and this are identical anyway, so this one I don't really care to fix up. But what I do care to do is copy these over real quick. To this side particularly. Just to see what that looks like. And I think that looks pretty dandy. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Trying to picture having that on my arm. That's gonna... That's about the size it will be. And then... if I... Neat. Alright. So I'm gonna test this one. And... where is it? Okay, I'm gonna test these two little arm tube dealios, and then I'm gonna see what works. But actually, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and export each of these, and I'm going to export them as they are right now. How many triangles is that? 8,116. Arm tube from scratch, save. And then this one, I'm going to, what's that? Arm tube. How many in that one? 2,370. So this one has fewer triangles, but also this one has more geometry on it because I did more to it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna slice them. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna only what I intend to test with these ones is, what I intend to test with these ones is this right here. The part that holds cards for each player's hand. The reason we need the part to hold cards for each player's hand is because when my friend and I were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With my old version, it was pretty annoying to have to put the cards in our hand somewhere while we were fiddling around with the rest of the cards in the deck and in the on the field and all that. Because like when you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh on a table, you just put the cards on the table face down, and then you can do whatever you want, and your opponent can't see your cards. With this one, you have to have somewhere to put the cards, and that'll be this clip here. In terms of face down or face up, you still have to be smart enough to not, have the face of the card pointing inward, because duh. And then you also have to trust that the person wearing the thing is not going to hold their arm straight out, and they're going to hold their arm the way they hold it in Yu-Gi-Oh! In the show, because then you would have an opportunity for cheating, but not much can be done about that. So I mean, unless I specifically made a little shield here to hide that, but that would be quite annoying, so I won't. Anyways, I've exported these, and I'm going to go ahead and test them, and I will be back to decide which one of these I like best.